They say when love goes beyond culture, color and religion, then it must be true love. Meet 35-year-old Kerry Joy Wanyonyi and her husband Albert Joy Wanyonyi, aged 28, as they worship at the God's Heart Ministries in the Nyangali village, Bumula, in the county of Bungoma. I'll bring you more than a song. This is an important day for the couple as they have been visited by Carrie's father and mother, Bishop William Bill Boyce and Prophet Ruth Boyce, who hail from California in the United States.
I come from the USA. I was born in California.
Yo, what's up my beautiful people? This is Elvis Dairy, the king of YouTubers, and I'm back again with a fresh and brand new episode. So if you're new to this channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on that beautiful notification bell. So today I'm joined here by a very beautiful couple, man. Like I've been talking with them on Instagram, I've seen their TikTok videos. You guys make sure you go and follow them on TikTok. So I've been talking to them, and I just felt like I should come here to Bungoma County. Like I've traveled all the way from Nairobi to Bungoma. It's 8 hours, man. 8 good hours. Yeah, man, but finally I've arrived here in Bungoma County, and I feel like they have to tell us their story on how they met, because you rarely see this kind of interracial marriages, mostly in small countries in Kenya. But they're gonna tell us their story and how they met, and how they fell in love and everything. So welcome to my channel. You wanna go get first of all, they're going to start by introducing themselves. I believe ladies first. So, please introduce yourself.
So I'm Kerry Joy Wanyonyi, from America, living in California. We're coming up here to Kenya, and then tomorrow, Wanyonyi. She's almost 3 months old. And we're Mzunkusu, the Wanyonyi family.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. So, first of all, I will start by the first question is, how did you meet, and which year was that?
It was 2018, yeah? 2018, I moved here from North Carolina, USA, to do missions work, and my mission space is here in Bungoma. So we moved out, and at 4:30 in the morning, we arrived here from Nairobi because we were driving all day, and our driver kept stopping and stopping. So 4:30 a.m., we arrived here to our host's house, which is right down the hill. His brother, his name is Pastor Peter, and we arrived at his house. Everyone had cooked us a meal. It was supposed to be, what, lunch or dinner? The day before. And they were all just sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting because me and my mom and my dad all came here from America to do work. And that was our team, our missions team, to work with us. They're waiting to welcome us. So we got there at 4:30 in the morning, and we ate dinner together really, really late. And you were part of the prayer team and part of the service team there. So they went around the room and introduced themselves, and we was only speaking TickTock with Kiswahili at the time, no English. But when it got around to him and he started speaking, I heard God say in my heart, "That is your husband, and that is why you never found someone back home." And I didn't say anything to anyone at the time. But that same night, didn't God say something to you? You had a dream?
It's true. I have a dream. He showed me. For me, I'm afraid. He goes for me, I'm afraid. He goes that one is first day for me. I have a dream from you.
But it's not the kind of dream you guys probably think. He had a dream that we were getting married in a Western style wedding. And I didn't find that out until our honeymoon.
It's true. It's true.
For 3 months.
So you did a traditional wedding?
We did. We did a traditional wedding. We had a pastor come out. I made my wedding dress. I sewed it by hand. And he couldn't wait. He was just waiting and waiting because we're Christians. So we were trying to do it in the Christian way. We weren't doing anything with each other before marriage. We were waiting for that marriage to happen. He went down. My parents told him, they said, "You're not going to bring our daughter home until you have a better latrine." So the same day that they told him that, he went downhill and he started digging a new hole for a latrine, and he built a really nice latrine. I know that's a strange story, but that was their requirement. Both of my parents were okay with the marriage. He loves Jesus. He's a praying man. He wants to serve God and to grow in God. And so my parents were very happy with him. But they said, you have to have a better latrine if you're going to bring our daughter home to your house.
And who made the first move? Between you two, who made the first move?
Yeah.
Yes.
And how did you do it? How did you do it?
You know, most for me, most Friday was for me called and for put flower most for me to busy one. Like you know more to look for something not fried. But see, you eat for double, you look for beautiful one. For me, you try for myself, for me, bring for him. Say, Kerry, you call for the name. Because for me, it's not speak for for English. For me, you call for name. Kerry. For me, it's not saying what you can handle it. For me, it's Shika. Because it's type, it's type for English. So for me, it's like, for me, for standard two. So more that is standard for that. It's not strong one. That's why it's cheaper.
Especially these local schools.
Yes, for local school. Because much for my daddy died for 1998. Dad was most for the family. So for me, try. Next third one for me, bring for him for flower. Next time for me, more going for down.
Yes.
For big.
So he
For
brought
me,
the
support
flowers.
try. Was for me, support try.
Do you know what nakupenda means?
It means I love you. That's because he taught me that. But also, strange thing is, you know the movie The Lion King?
Yeah.
So I grew up watching like The Lion King and all of the sequels to The Lion King. And so I learned little words like Simba and Pumbaa and things like that just from watching kids' cartoons. And then Nakupenda on the second Lion King, the daughter of Simba falls in love, and they have this song that says in Upende. And so I knew Nakupenda was close enough to Upende. I thought he was saying something about love. And I'm riding there on the back of the bike, and he would sit there trying to teach me Kiswahili words. So we'd be driving, and he'd be pointing at things and giving me words, and I would copy him. And so that's when he said, Nakupenda. And I said, huh? Is this what I think it is? Because he had already given me the flowers. He gave me the flowers and walked away. He didn't stay there. So I thought that he had feelings for me, but I wasn't sure.
Okay.
Because I can tell you for girls, like you need to just be direct and tell us, because we're not sure.
Yeah.
But
No.
Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Like I believe that love has no boundaries. Love has no borders, and so like how have people reacted? People's reaction. Maybe your family's reaction. How people have taken your relationship.
So my family has been very welcoming with it. I don't think they were surprised at all. In fact, when I came out here, my brothers and sisters that stayed home told me I was going to marry a local boy. And I said, no, I'm not going to marry anybody out there. I'm going for the work of God. I'm not going to go for love. you know that God's going to have to show me who I'm marrying later. I didn't expect that the first day I was here, God would say, that's your husband. So there I was telling my family, listen, I found the man I'm supposed to marry, and this is who he is. And they said, we knew it. We knew you were going to do this.
Yeah.
So the only thing was they wished they could be here. They couldn't make it for the wedding. My parents were here because they work here with me. But my sister and my brother and their families couldn't make it. But they've been very supportive and very welcoming. And your family, you'll have to say, because a lot of them don't speak English.
So there is like communication barrier.
Yeah. His mother, my mother-in-law, it's amazing. She doesn't speak English. She speaks almost all Kibukusu. But when I speak with her, somehow she's able to communicate with her body language to the point where I understand almost everything that she's saying. I don't need him to interpret most of the time. And she's not speaking a language that I understand, but somehow we can communicate.
And since you're Mzungu living here in Bungoma County, like the life compared in America and here, which one do you feel is much better for you?
For me, I was made for this kind of life. It's a simple life. It's a slower life. There are things I miss. I miss, not that you don't have them in Kenya at all, but here in the village, I don't have a dishwasher and I don't have, a washing machine for my clothes. I have to do everything by hand. I have to cook from scratch. I don't have electricity right now. We have solar electricity, but nothing you can plug into. I can't use my blow dryer or a refrigerator. Eventually we'll have it. Eventually we will build our lives and we will have those things. But there is a difficulty to life out here, but at the same time there's a real beauty to the simplicity, and I just love it. I've always wanted to be a homesteader. I've always wanted to be a farmer. And I get to live that kind of life out here, and he's taught me so much. He says he's only been to Standard 2, but he's one of the most amazing men that I know. He's so smart, regardless of the education. He's very creative. He can figure out how to make almost anything work, how to drive almost anything, whether he's been trained or not. He's just an amazing man.
So what do you love about your husband?
The biggest thing that I love about him is how he loves Jesus. That was the first thing that I recognized about him, is he loves 100%. There's not a reserve in the way that he loves. And that same thing is true for me. That when he loves, it's all the way. There's no like, I can love you part way, and then the rest of it I have to reserve for something else. He's an all or nothing kind of a person, and I love that he's an all or nothing kind of a person. But he's supportive. He's come outside of his culture to try and adjust to things with me. Like I can't very easily go and get the water here. You take these jerry cans and you have to go and get water, and I didn't grow up with that. So when I try to do it, and I've done it a few times, but when I try and do it, like, my body's just not used to it. My body's not used to that kind of work. I can do a lot of kind of work, but that kind, I don't have the muscles built for it. So we actually have a lady who is a good friend of ours and a church member of our church, and she helps us out here, and the ministry pays her some to help with some of the house chores, because it frees me up to do ministry work. And there are some things like getting water that I'm just not good at. But he's adjusted to it, and there was a year, the first year here, when I was pregnant with Zachariah, who's asleep right now. I was very sick with malaria. I almost died. I spent a month in the hospital recovering. And after that sickness, he wouldn't even let me cook the ugali for a couple of months. Like, he did everything here. In fact, he would tell people who would spend time with me, don't let her work. If I'm away, she's going to try and work. Don't let her work. Because he knew that I would try to, and he didn't want me to get sick again. He was so sweet. He did not want me to get sick again. And so he would come home and he would do jobs that were typically for a woman. And here, like, that's unheard of in the village. Like, in the village, you just don't do that. Like, it's better to just go and get a second wife and let the second wife do it. But he was just so caring, and he wanted to see me taken care of. And so that's that 100% love that I'm talking about. Like, He was at the doctor's with me after I had my first baby, and he was telling all the women, he said, when you go home, don't lift up things that you're not supposed to lift, just take it easy. And they laughed because they knew they would have to go home and they'd have to work. But I came home from the hospital, and my husband would lift things for me, and he would do things for me, and he would make sure I was taken care of. And he just loves in a way that I've not seen a lot of people love anywhere in the world. So I appreciate that about him. And I love that you love Jesus so much. So even when difficult things come, like his response is to pray it through and to try and see what the Bible says about how to get through things. It's not that either of us are perfect, because we're not, but you seek God on things.
So are you planning to, to live here in Bungoma County, forever, or are you planning to move out one day? What is your future plans?
So for the future, we plan on living here. The only reason we would move is if God called us somewhere else. So right now, this is where God has called me to be. And before he met me, he had no plans to move anywhere, I don't think. Right? So we have to live where God's called us to be. And so far, God hasn't told me to go anywhere else. And it doesn't mean that sometime in the future he might not. He might eventually be like, hey, I want you guys to go and serve me in Brazil. Who knows? But right now, he's called me to Kenya. Right now, he's called me to Bungoma. And if it comes to a point where God moves on us and tells us, I want you to go somewhere else, then we've already discussed together, no matter where in the world God calls us to go, we'll go. For our kids, we'll probably save up, and they'll probably, since I'm a citizen, they can get their citizenship when they're 18. And universities out in America are very, very good. Not that universities out here aren't, they are. But it opens up more possibilities for them, where they can legally move to the U.S. if they want to when they're adults. And we'll leave that one up to them. I'm not going to push that on them, because Kenya's a beautiful place. And if they want to stay in Kenya, I want them to stay in Kenya with me. But if they want to go to America, we were actually just discussing this earlier today. If they want to go to America, then we'll help make a way for them to go. And the doors will legally be open because their mom is American. Okay. This one is Zachariah.
Can you please introduce yourself?
Say hi.
Say hi to the people.
It's like, I just woke up. I'm a little shy now.
So, it's all about peace, love, and unity within our borders and also beyond our borders, Like, love has no boundaries. It doesn't have any boundaries. Like, you can get married anywhere in this world with anyone you want, anyone you love. So, do you have any last words, to people out there, who love to marry an African or a American sister, who love to marry a different, race from them? Do you have any message?
What about you, honey? Oh, me first.
Ladies first.
Okay, so you gotta follow your heart. You gotta follow what God's put on your heart, and sometimes it's not what you expected for your life. But you have to realize when you marry someone that's not from your culture, you will have to work with their culture. You can't expect them to do everything your way, and they can't expect to do everything your way. So you have to just expect that both of you, from the love that's in your heart, are going to have to find a way to work life together. And it's going to be your own way. It's not going to be like, for me, it's not the American way. For Albert, it's not the Kenyan way. We have to meet somewhere in between. And if you're going to marry someone of a different culture, even within, like, where I'm from, in the U.S., there are different cultures within the states. If you marry someone who's from a different culture, both of you have to work it out. It's not a one-person thing. It's a 100% all-in. Every marriage is like that. Every single marriage in the world, you get married, you're 100% in. The other person is 100% in. That's the only way it's going to work. But love will prevail if you're going to be fully invested like that.
Mr. Albert, do you have anything to say to the people out there? The Kenyan brothers, African brothers out there.
Kenya is home. For me, it's more to you love anyone for this world. It's better you open your hearts. Told him for true. Love for him. For love's not stop anything. Love him with your heart. Love moti, many people motive to from to happiness. So much love for from him. him what not try for love, he try for money what he have it. That one what he make it for polish people more is another main what make it for is you cross faster because you think business is for money. Open for her. You give for 200, 200 next time, buy for him for lunch for all. Allow what do you think? Wow, why you want for money? No, because you apply for your knowledge, allow what you do something what you know can build for soon. So much for my wife, for me make for for my job most fast job. It was taking stones, looking for truck, for big. And for me, you love for that job. And how much for another time you come for visa for me. You open how much for that money much for me is try for hard. That money for me you use, you know, for him. Most for me is not say this one for stone, most for me use for stone. Snow one for out for him, half for me, half for that much for me can stick for stone, half can make money. The time you call me say, oh for me for try for me for down. For me you stop that time, go for shower, but for me is try for him for down. So much for me, you open it for heart for him. Have you see this name is and now for him. Having that for me, have me say it's good. For me that for him so much.
Because you're giving. You are you sacrifice of yourself for the relationship.
So like before I end this video, like I would just want to know like how many daughters or sons both of you have.
These two are my kids. He has one daughter from a previous marriage named June, and one day we hope that she can live with us too. We've had her for Christmas and a couple of other times, and she's a sweetheart. So the three together is what we have, and eventually, if God gives us more, we'll have more.
Yeah.
But this is good for now.
Yeah.
I have two young children. They need to get older before I have another one.
So you have one boy, if I'm not wrong, one boy
Yes.
and one girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very beautiful, very beautiful.
Zachariah Blaise Wanyonyi and Samara Ruth Noel Wanyonyi.
Also, I can see like they have the African names, you know. It's very beautiful, you know. Yeah, man. So thank you each and every one of you for watching this video. Make sure you support this beautiful couple, you know, on their TikTok. Also follow them on Instagram. You know, I'm gonna put their links in the description down below. So make sure you go and support them, watch their videos, and yeah, man. So leave your comments. Make sure like the comment section is all about positivity. It's all about love. It's all about togetherness, you know, and that's how we move forward, you know. Yeah, man. So thank you so much. See you in the next episode.